Hello everyone, this is the most magnificent bird, Buck Beak, speaking to you today. And in today's video, I'm just going to be giving you guys some RTS gameplay. Not much of it, because the main purpose of this video is going to be my spoiler review of The Walking Dead Dead City Season 1, Episode 5, Stories We Tell Ourselves. Now, I will say, without saying much about it, but man, there's a certain character that, for me, the season finale is going to be a make or break moment toward how I feel about this certain character. Also, we got some answers tonight about specifically why Maggie is wanting Negan's help. We finally got that confirmed answer, which it's, maybe to some people, maybe it's not shocking for those that have watched it, but I definitely won't talk about it here. So before we get started, I hope all of you are doing good and staying safe out there. I'm doing good and I'm staying safe for the most part. So yeah, let's just do, I guess, some raids, I reckon. Because I don't know if I'll do another raiding with me video this week. Win or lose, I'm not really worried about it at this moment. And I gotta say about Dead City, episodes 4 and 5 have definitely made it worth it to watch, for sure. Yeah, I would definitely say, without a doubt, the second half of Dead City, which would be episodes 4 and 5, are definitely, in my opinion, a lot stronger. And that's just 2 of the episodes, I'm not saying that episodes 1 through 3, I'm not saying those episodes are bad, but, they're just not as good as 4 and 5, in my opinion. Which, so far, maybe the weakest episode would be... I'm trying to decide. I don't know. I've really enjoyed this series, and I hear that there's going to be a season 2 to Dead City, so... But the problem is, I don't know when we're going to get that exactly, because of the Hollywood strikes going on right now. So, yeah, 2024 for movies and TV/streaming shows are gonna look a lot, they're gonna look a little light. I mean, of course, there's still stuff coming out this year that's already been, that's already has, everything that's announced for the rest of this year is still good to go to come out. But starting in 2024, that's where those strikes are gonna really affect entertainment. Let's see. We done, what was that? 3 raids? I don't know. Let's do maybe 2 friendly duels. Let's see. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. Although Circuit has improved stun, I think, on her weapon. Yeah, improved focus stun. That's fun. Yep, Circuit is gonna cause a lot of problems. Oh boy, we're gonna get like 3 of them to come back. Well, no, 2 of them. What's that? Eugene, Doc Ock, Eugene. I just love that look on Eugene, though. He definitely reminds me of Doc Ock from Spider-Man. Oh no. Really? Jackie's the only one? Okay. Again, you know. See, Circuit is going to be a big problem. Oh no, you know what? Yeah, doesn't she have stun on her weapon too? Nor, that is? I think so. Where's this, hemorrhage coming in at? Oh, Circuit, okay. So both of them have the focus stun. Great. I think we'll only do the one friendly duel. Yeah. I don't want to try to take up too much of you guys' time. Okay, so that was the gameplay portion of this video. So if you do not want to hear any spoilers whatsoever, this is the time to go ahead and click off the video. I do thank each and every one of you. If you are clicking off, I do thank each and every one of you for stopping by and for your continued support, and I'll catch you next time. Now, for those that want to stick around, I'm gonna start in 3, 2, 1. Okay, here is my spoiler review of The Walking Dead, Dead City, Season 1, Episode 5, Stories We Tell Ourselves. Okay, so the episode starts back with Maggie, Jenny, Tommaso, and the lady's name that starts with an A, Amaya. You know what? I don't know why I got her name mixed up, but you know what? It really doesn't matter, because Amaya and Tommaso, they both die in this episode, so it's not really, it doesn't really matter, because, you know, they're gonna die in this episode, so there you go. That's part of the spoiler review. So, okay, they're in the sewer, and they find these flashlights, and Tommaso puts one on his head. It's like one of those that, you know, like, I would say kind of like what construction workers might wear, or people that might be working in the sewers and stuff like that, you know, areas where it's dark. But anyway, so they're in the sewer, and, like, of course, Jenny, she still hasn't said a word, which, I gotta be honest, if there's one thing that's annoying about Dead City, it's the fact that Jenny, she hasn't said a word, nothing. I wish she'd say something just to hear her thoughts, to let us know as the audience, to let us know what she's thinking by communication. But, I don't know, I'll go ahead and say she doesn't talk again for the rest of the, you know, she doesn't talk at all, and just through the rest of this episode, she doesn't say crap. Maybe the season finale we'll hear her say something, but I don't know, man. But, okay, so they're in the sewers, and so we'll pick back up with them in a minute. Then we go to Negan and Armstrong, and they're traveling through Manhattan, going from building to building. And, Negan is like, where are we going? Or is it just going to be some big-ass surprise? And I believe Armstrong says that they're going to a place called Chelsea Piers. So they're going to a pier. And Negan's trying to tell Armstrong there's not any boats. Your boat is most likely sunk by this point. And he says that the dock, we can just disconnect it and it'll float on the water. And like Negan is like, asking him, have you worked here? And are you a New Yorker? And Armstrong says, yeah, I worked for the state in the Bronx. He said I was he helped keep the river clean. I forget the exact title he used, but he pretty much said that he was a part of the, he helped keep the rivers of the Bronx and all of New York clean. So, and later on in the episode, well, no, before I get to that, they end up, as they're conversating about, Marshall, not Marshall, I mean, he is a Marshall, but Armstrong, as they're communicating about, Negan asking him if he was a New Yorker, and Negan said, after Armstrong says that, yeah, I helped keep the rivers clean, Negan says that, yeah, I was a gym teacher, that I worked for the state as well. And then the walkers come from all directions, they're running, and they end up in a building. And what's interesting is they get to this part of this building that they're about to enter, and like there's a refrigerator in front of the doorway, and Negan's trying to push the refrigerator out of the way. And what he doesn't realize is the refrigerator's actually the door into the building, which I thought was kind of neat. All they had to do is open the refrigerator and they got inside the building. So nothing significant happens. That neither one of them gets bit or anything. I mean, Armstrong, he still got that leg wound from the weapon in the last episode, from that from when the Crow Rat shot him. So they get into the building with the refrigerator door as a door to the building, and Negan walks into this one room, and on this little, it's not exactly a wall, but it's kind of like a, I don't know what you would call it, but there are all of these doll arms and legs, and like a doll's torso, and there's a doll's head in the torso, and it's like this really creepy, like just how the fact that all of these doll arms and legs are all connected together, and that's going to be actually very important later on. That's like kind of like a foreshadowing for something we're going to get a little bit later on in the episode, and it's like, oh my god, this part, it's just like, when we get to that part, it's going to be very creepy, very nasty, very cool. And I'm sure this was in the trailer, what I'm talking about, but I didn't watch the trailer. Because, I mean, trailers, they give everything away. Like, the studios, they don't care. But anyway, Negan is like, was this... He looks at Armstrong after he sees the creepy doll arms and legs and all that. Which, that was like, to me, that was really terrifying. That was just creepy, just how all the arms and legs were together, like. But anyway, he asked Armstrong, do you think this was from before or after? And then they find this one room where this guy, he is sitting in a chair. Well, he was a guy, I presume, but anyway, he's got an axe in his head, and as you can see, like, the guy decided to he's got this rope in his hand, and the rope is attached to the axe. So, yeah, he did that to himself. And Armstrong says, I think it was during the apocalypse, referring to the doll arms and doll legs and all of that. And, Negan is like pretty much like, I saved your life, you know, are you really still going through with this? And he doesn't really give an answer right away, but like a little bit later on in the episode, Armstrong, he reveals that his brother Joel, that, you know, that's who the Joel character was, Armstrong's brother, and he revealed that when the apocalypse started, that Armstrong, his mom and dad all made it safe, but his brother was, you know, left alone to, you know, he died alone pretty much. That's the person, the zombie that, well, that's the person that we saw in that apartment in episode, I want to say episode 3, no, it was either episode 2 or 3. I'm pretty sure it was around, I think it was episode 2. It wasn't 3, it would have had to been 2, but anyway, so we find out that Joel, that the guy that was in the apartment with the gun in his hand, you know, when he finds that dead body, that was his brother, so we get that information. So let's jump back to Maggie, Jenny, Amaya, and Tommaso back in the sewers. And Tommaso, you know, there's he's got this backpack on, and he says, you know, I got some extra flashlights. And Amaya is wanting to get the backpack, and he's like, whoa, wait a minute, I'll get him. And I'm thinking for a second, okay, maybe he got bit on the shoulder where and he's using the backpack to hide the walker bite. That's just what I assumed at first, and he didn't tell nobody. But they go to this other part of the sewers where these, it looks like these tanks or something are down there, and he's crouching behind the tanks, and supposedly he finds these oxygen tanks because of the methane stuff. What that is, that's the same crap that was used on Armstrong in the arena that made his vision all blurry, and he had kind of like a high state of mind. So that, like, all that stuff is in the sewers, and by using the oxygen tanks, you know, there's only 2 of them, so Tommaso, he's like, you know, we'll just trade off. The kid will get one first, referring to Jenny. And, you know, Tommaso, he tries to give one to Maggie, but, like, she looks at him like all mean looking and stuff, and yeah, there's something not right with Tommaso, and Maggie comes to the conclusion, and she's right. You know, Tommaso was, he had a secret. He made a deal, Tommaso, sorry for the pop-ups, but Tommaso made a deal with the Crow Rat, because, you know, back in the last episode, the arena was conveniently empty, except for the Crow Rat and, like, a couple of his people, and they all left pretty quickly. That's because when Tommaso, when he had broken out, the Crow Rat had found him, and, you know, Tommaso pretty much made a deal. He said, if you let me go, you know, I'll give up all of our safe houses. So, yeah, Maggie was right to be very suspicious of him. I thought it was just as simple as, he had gotten bit, but those tanks, those oxygen tanks, they were left there conveniently because the Crow Rat or his men left them for Tommaso. And I'm thinking, okay, this guy, really, you're a prick, you know that? I mean, really, you're just gonna give your people out? You're gonna give your people up? Like, okay. So Maggie was right to accuse him, and she, Tommaso at first is like, you're crazy, you know, that methane is affecting your mind, but then, like, no, she's not crazy, because those tanks were conveniently left there, so, and it looked like he was about to maybe do something to Maggie, but he gets this angry look that, you know, his secret got revealed, and he just, like, shoulder bumps Maggie and just keeps on walking. You know what? Tommaso, you are a prick, dude. So, you know what? I'm glad Maggie revealed that. I mean, because of him, their hideouts and his people got killed thanks to him. And Amaya, she don't know what to think. Like, she didn't know any knowledge of that. So, yeah. So that gets revealed. And, they keep on going through the sewers, and there's all of these walkers that are just like, some of them might be dead, but maybe not, but they're all clumped up together, and then, like, they're all resting, and, the methane is starting to affect Maggie because she refuses one of the tanks, and Jenny, she's just hogging one of the tanks the whole time, but whatever, they said they were going to try it off, but she almost face plants onto the ground, and in the sewer with all the nasty germs and all of the nasty crap down there, ooh, you wouldn't want to fall face first. You don't, disgusting, right? So they take a rest for a minute, and Tommaso is with Maggie, and Jenny and Amaya are sitting pretty close together, and then next thing you know, you hear Amaya screaming, but before that, you see a walker hand moving, and they're not paying attention, like, holy shit, y'all should be paying attention, and then next thing you know, Amaya is screaming, and these walkers, they just, they wake up and they tear up Amaya, like, pretty badly. They tear her stomach up, and Jenny, of course, she doesn't, as far as I know, she doesn't get scratched, bitten or anything, but yeah, poor Amaya, she's just over there, she's not having a good time. She's like, R.I.P. to her at this point, and Tommaso's trying to save her. And, well, he ends up getting scratched and bit too. So, yeah, R.I.P. to Amaya and R.I.P. to Tommasino, or Tommaso, I guess. But Tommaso, I mean, I don't know. He's kind of he is a prick, man. He gave up his own people, but it was for Amaya's interest, because he alludes that Amaya was pregnant. He doesn't say it, but he gets ready to say it, but he alludes to it, and that sucks even more for her, knowing that she might have been pregnant, and then, like, moments after, she gets torn apart by walkers, which, I mean, that's kind of, in that moment, that is kind of messed up. That is kind of sad to think about it, man. But yeah, so Maggie, she ends up stabbing Tommaso in the head, and I don't know did she stab Amaya? I don't know, I'm not sure, but yeah, both of those characters are gone, so it's just Maggie and Jenny now. So yeah, so we'll get back to Armstrong and Negan. So they're continuing to travel through the streets of Manhattan, and they find a school bus, and Negan gets Armstrong in there, and they go to the back of the school bus, and they lay him down, and up at the front of the school bus is a first aid kit, and Negan is going to see if there's anything in there, and Armstrong's like, how'd you know? He's like, oh, yeah, that's right, gym teacher. So I'm sure when Negan was a gym teacher, I'm sure he's been on his fair share of school buses from time to time, so that's probably how he knew it was there. Just based off of instinct in the world before the apocalypse. So he helps stitch him up and try to clean his wound. At least, I don't know, did he stitch his wound? I think he did. At least he did try to help clean his wound from it getting infected, to stop it from getting infected. And so we'll leave them there. So we get to Maggie and Jenny. We're going to get back to them. And here's the most creepiest, the grossest part, the coolest part of the episode. There's this walker that I don't know if he's been fused together, but this walker wakes up. You see one walker head, then you see another walker head. And then the walker, he gets up and he stretches his arms, and he's got like I would say about 4 different arms, and there's 4 different walker heads. Yes, these are actual walkers that have somehow been fused together, and I'm like, oh my god. Like, I didn't see that. I didn't see it beforehand. It was probably most likely in the trailer. It would be a good marketing tactic to get people to watch it. I didn't watch the trailer. The trailers, they give too much away. So you get this infused walker that, I guess the methane and I don't know what fused it together, but it's so cool, and it's just, the effects on it look so freaking amazing on it. It's just, and it's so gross too. Like, you know, like you have practically 4 walkers at one time. Hold on, I gotta get something to drink. Hold on, just 1 second. Okay, I needed that sip of my Pepsi. Okay, now back to it. So you got this walker, he's somehow been fused together. You got this one walker, and then you got one walker like kind of behind him, and then you got 2 other walkers that's kind of underneath him, and it's just like, oh my god, like somebody, like you would normally think, okay, Maggie and Jenny they would be so screwed normally, but Maggie, she just takes them out one by one, and it's so cool. I don't know if he's supposed to be a variant, or I guess he would technically be a variant of some kind, because you pretty much got like 4 walkers in one big body. Like, you know, if you know what I'm talking about, you just look up the trailer, or you can find the image of it probably pretty easily. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So Maggie, she tells Jenny to go to get out of here. She'll take care of it, and she does. She struggles, man, but I gotta say that was probably definitely the coolest part of this episode for sure. Man, that was a great moment in the episode. Man, these pop-ups, I don't care about these pop-ups, but yeah. So now let's get to the Crow Rat. He appears in the episode for only a little bit. It's not because he gets killed or nothing, but his part is pretty, I would say, pretty limited in this episode. So the Crow Rat, he's driving, and he parks at this place. Oh man, what's the place called? I'll have to go back and look, but he gets out, and he goes into like this auditorium place, and there's people there. They're actually like making noise and playing music, and I'm thinking like, none of these people aren't concerned that walkers could just find their way in. I guess not. But the Crow Rat, he's walking through, he goes to the backstage area, and he has this funny interaction with this black woman. He's like, the woman says, move out of my way, witch. She doesn't actually say witch, but you know, she says the other word, but, you know, she's like, move out of my way, you witch. And that was kind of funny. I don't think it was meant to be funny, but just the way, like, she looked and you know, it was kind of funny. But anyway, she, not the woman, but the crow rat, he goes and he knocks on this door, and he walks into this room, and there's this woman at a makeup table, and she's wearing all black, and, you know, the crow rat pretty much tells her that Negan is in the city, but he got away. And I'm thinking, why does this woman care about Negan at all? I mean, we don't know who this woman is. For now, I'll just call her the woman in black. I mean, I don't know who she is. I guess we'll find out more in the finale. Because, I mean, this is a pretty brief interaction. And she pretty much says to the crow rat, you know, he's important. We need him, you know, like, but why, though? I'm not sure why. Maybe the finale will answer those questions, but this woman is like, yeah, we need him, you know, what are you doing? You know, this, that, and the other. She's like, you failed, or something like that, and, she pretty much is wanting Negan for something. I don't know. So, I don't know. That's pretty much all we get. You know, he says to her, I'll find him again, I'll get him, or whatever. So, we don't know who that woman in black is, and why she wants anything to do with Negan. Who knows? I'm sure we'll find out more info. So that's pretty much all we get on that. So now, Maggie, after she's dealt with that walker, Jenny has took off out of the sewers, and Jenny wrote in blood on the sewer walls, liar, and that's a very good point, because yes, Maggie is lying on two fronts. The night that Jenny left the new hilltop, she actually went to the silo where they usually are supposed to keep the grain, and in the second episode, the silo grain, it sounded empty, but Jenny, before she leaves, she figures she would investigate, and she gets up to the top of it. She opens the lid, and what do you know? They have plenty of grain. So Maggie was lying. And this is an excellent point, because in the episode before, Negan says something along the lines to Maggie. He says pretty much, I'm sure that you have done stuff that you've had to answer for, so we know Negan is a bad guy. He did some messed up stuff, but honestly, Maggie, she shouldn't act all innocent, especially after what I'm gonna say, man. Like, oh, so yeah. So Maggie was lying about the grain. They had plenty of grain from the looks of it. So that's what, Jenny is calling out Maggie on that BS. But this is maybe a little bit bigger than lying about grain. It's definitely as big. So Maggie, as she's climbing out of the sewer and getting out of the sewer, she's having a flashback of her, she's reliving Herschel being taken by the Crow Rat, and after the Crow Rat's men have taken Herschel, pretty much the Crow Rat hands Maggie a piece of paper, and the Crow Rat makes a deal with Maggie, and that piece of paper is the wanted posters of Negan. So yeah, this whole time, the Crow Rat, he knew that Negan was wanted, and pretty much that flashback reveals that, oh, I'll give you your son back if you trick Negan into helping you, and you give me Negan. So yeah. So Maggie, I mean, alright, I will say, I understand, she loves her son, she wants to get her son back, but man, at the expense of Negan. So now it definitely makes sense why she went to Negan for help versus anybody else. She could have asked, let's see, who are capable fighters besides Negan? She could have went to Aaron, Gabriel, Ezekiel, I don't know. She could have went to anybody, even somebody at the hilltop, but she chose Negan out of everybody else. That's because the Crow Rat wants Negan. So, yeah, it seems like that witch Maggie is going to give up Negan in the season finale. Damn it. So that's what I'm saying. And the episode ends with Jenny. She has a flare gun. I don't know where she got this flare gun, but she shoots up the flare gun in the air, and Negan sees the flare go off, and that's where the credits roll. So yeah, I'm very excited for this season finale. I'm very much looking forward to it. And Dead City wasn't even my most anticipated of these 3 spin-offs. I mentioned it last week, but you know what my most anticipated spin-off is? The Daryl Dixon spin-off, baby. Yes, absolutely. The Daryl Dixon spin-off is still my most anticipated spin-off, but damn, Dead City has been good, especially this second half. Oh man. And I'm telling you, I mean, this is the next episode, the season finale, is going to be my make or break moment for Maggie. If she actually goes through with giving up Negan to the Crow Rat, oh man, I don't know what I'll think about Maggie, to be honest, but right now I'm just like, ooh, damn, like, I don't know, but there's supposed to supposedly be a season 2 of Dead City, so I don't know. We'll see where it goes. We'll see how the first season ends. I'm very curious to see what that woman in black wants with Negan. Maybe she could be a part of the CRM. I don't know. I know that group kind of still exists in the Walking Dead universe, so maybe the woman in black is somehow connected to the CRM, potentially. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But that could be a pretty good guess. And oh man, I gotta say, episodes 4 and 5 are definitely, without a doubt, my 2 favorite episodes of Dead City. Without a doubt. These 2 episodes alone have blown the other episodes out of the water up to this point. That's with the exception of me not have seen the season finale yet. So I'm down to 1 episode, and oh man, I'm just, hopefully the season finale delivers. I feel like episodes 4 and 5 have delivered thus far for sure. I have a little bit of hope that, not a little bit, but I think it might deliver. And also, I just wanted to add, I don't know, maybe Armstrong, potentially. I hope there's a little bit of slither of hope that he might redeem himself in the season finale, hopefully. I'm kind of hoping he does, because last week I said there wasn't no humanity left to him, but I don't know, after episode 5, I'm kind of changing my mind a little bit on Armstrong. I am actually hoping this guy redeems himself and at least lets Negan go somehow, or I don't know, something. Who knows? I don't know. I'm very intrigued about this and these pop-ups, but yeah, I do apologize if I forgot anything, which I don't think I did, and that's pretty much all I got. So, yeah, I don't have anything else to add. I've really been enjoying this series. And, yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you guys. If you have been watching Dead City, how have you been enjoying it? I've really been enjoying it, especially episodes 4 and 5. So, yeah, that's all I got for you guys for today. I want to thank each and every one of you for stopping by and for your continued support. Or, if you're new, welcome in for the first time. All of you are very awesome, and I thank you again. And don't forget to hit the bell and switch on all notifications so you know the second I upload to YouTube. I am Buck Beak, and I'm gonna go fly away back to my nest. Until next time, bye guys.